Hey guys, this is Britt from Lucky Nerd Cosplay. Today I'm going to be showing you how I move the part on wigs. I'm using a lace wig. I don't see why it wouldn't apply to a non-lace wig, so let's go. So I bought this wig for $13 on Amazon, so obviously I was expecting to have to do some surgery to it. The quality's actually not that bad. The problem is just that the wefts are crimped really tightly at the root, so reparting the wig without taking the lace out is not going to work. I'm using this for Homecoming Peter Parker, so I need him to have a side part instead of a center part. So my first step is to trim the part out. Now I'm cutting as close as possible to the edge of the lace. I'm trying to minimize the amount of hair that gets cut out of this. I actually think it's easier to use cuticle scissors on this because they're curved. It's going to help you conform to the curve of the part and minimize the amount of hair that you're cutting. Again, you do not want to cut the lace that goes on your forehead because that needs to stay in one piece or the structure of the wig is going to be a little bit more difficult to work with. Once you have a nice little bald patch in the center of your wig, you're going to want to measure that so you know how much to cut from the side of the wig. Now, normally I would just take the wefts out if I was doing something like this, but because I literally removed part of the wig, I'm going to need to cut the wig cap. So now that I've gotten everything pinned in the right place, I know where I need to pull from, I know roughly how far I need to go back. So I'm just going to use my scissors again and cut an equally sized chunk out of the side part area of this wig. And now comes the fun part, sewing everything back. So I started by sewing the wefted part back into the center of the wig. I made sure to turn these around just because they are parted a certain way and I want them to stay the right direction, so then I'll have less steam work to do. Normally I would recommend using thread that is closest to the color of the wig you have. I'm using green because I don't care and because it looks very similar. So I start in the back because it's easier to hide your knots back there because there's more hair. I'm working my way around with a whip stitch. It doesn't need to be very strong because everything on this wig is going to be hairsprayed into place. But again, if I pull on it, it's not coming out. Otherwise, I would recommend gluing. But if you're going to brush at all, you need to sew it. Once I've gone all the way around, I secure it with a triple knot and then I trim all the thread. And now you're going to part the hair back over, pin it in place, and you're going to repeat the process for the lace chunk. It's a little bit more difficult to sew this just because the lace will rip easier, so just make sure you're being gentle and that the bald patch you left in that wig on the side part is the accurate size because otherwise it's going to have to stretch and it could damage the lace. And now that I've looped all the way around to the back, I tie it in a triple knot again, trim my thread, and now everything is in place. So even just as is, it looks a lot better, but obviously there's too much volume in the center right now, so the final step is steaming the wig. Steaming everything is just going to make sure that the wefts are staying the right direction, that everything conforms to your head well. Now that everything is steamed, you can start your styling. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you want to see any more tutorials, please let me know. Thank you for watching.